this old bag woman, and she kicked me out of her court because of she didn't like a T-shirt that I was wearing, and I guess they want you to dress up, and there's no way I'm dressing up for these ass pirates. So I wore my shirt, and she didn't like it, so she kicked me out, and that's fine. However, that should have set the whole thing. Now it's over. They're in default, right? They didn't want to they didn't want to conduct their business anymore. They sent me away because of some stupid little shirt. Therefore, we're finished, right? However, it didn't work that way. She claimed that I didn't show. She claimed a no-show, and for about 2 years there was a warrant out for my arrest, and it gets in really sloppy. And so there's only a few of these that she has opened, and I have a whole. That's the email account that I have tons and tons. So back to this last time that they issued a warrant out for me, and they did the exact same thing. See, Edie Connolly, it ended up that they dismissed the case. So she kicked me out. I had to go through all of this crazy nonsense. They were blowing me off every time that I was trying to fight this and get things straightened out. I could not find a lawyer. I come to find I can't find a lawyer. This has been this last 4 years or so has been more enlightening, so to speak, than any assholes that are going to college, any people that think that they're getting really smart and they're getting educated. This is like school of hard knocks education here, and I'm really uncovered the game that's going on, and hopefully this is so I can move forward. Once I get out of this mess, I am going to be well versed in all of the deceptions that these corporations and these government corporations are under. So try to make this as quick as possible. This is Lagan, right? Brett Lagan, the district attorney, and that's how many he opened, right? And again, I have a bunch more. These are just the ones that I was working on, and I'm getting ready to transfer them out of the computer and put them into the archives. And then we have Beasley, same court, because this is for a public intoxication again. However, Beasley is the new guy that shows up for Connolly, right? Connolly retired while I was in the middle of working on getting I'm still on lawsuits and shit, and I'm trying to gain information and trying to learn everything. And then she retired and bailed out. So then this new guy, Beasley, shows up. That's how many he's opened. And again, there are way more, but this is what I have. And then we go to Montgomery County Court number 5, which is the acting judge, the banking administrator who is acting as judge, and his name is Keith Stewart. And he issued the warrant the day after I stood in front of him and handed over all of my affidavits to be put into court, and I also handed in a counterclaim to their complaint claim. And then the next day, he issued a warrant, $10,000. This was October the 1st, $10,000 bounty on my head, and this was all in hopes that they were going to scoop me up while I was on the road. But seeing how I know how these crooked weirdos operate, I never left the residence and stuff. So I literally have been living as if I've been in prison for a few years, right? However, they want a year sentence. They want to put me in jail for a year, right? And then we have Fitzgerald. This is Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, MCSO. he opened up. He showed up. Well, this guy actually, right after I got out of jail, I called up and I was trying to get information and open records request, and I also wanted to press charges against the J. Pierce, one of their buddies. And this guy got on the phone and told me that if I call back, then they're going to arrest me for being a nuisance, and right, and because I was using up the 911, and so right, so and the facts are that I wasn't, but and then what happened was right after the guy split my head, I sent to the open records of Montgomery County all the pictures, and I told them to set those into the records, and I asked if there was any records that had been opened, and I asked why my mother, nobody was allowed her to file a criminal complaint. And so then this guy shows up. And so they don't even, or the open records just blows me off. And then this guy shows up and says, how can we help you? Ask him all the same damn questions, and then he disappears. Right? And this is the sheriff, Rand Henderson. Now you can see there's a two-part here, and then there's a two-part there. But other than that, and again, this isn't all of them. This is just some of them, because I've been constantly working. Every day I work 8-10 hours a day to try to get all of this put together. And in every way, in every aspect, they shit all over me, and they push me away, and then they're always crying. They try and say that they will arrest me if I call back, and all this kind of stuff. So that's Rand Henderson, the acting sheriff of Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. Open these emails that I have, and I've not heard a single word from him. Also, I can call up, and I have many times called up, and I tried to ask if I can speak to Rand, if I can schedule an appointment, if people will deliver the message to him, and they all dick me around, and it's the biggest joke I've ever seen. I can't believe. And here's a fact, though, that they send SWAT, so they're trying to extract me, and so they're literally trying to kill me. Like, if once I get into their possession, right, I just accidentally, I accidentally fall over and smash my head into the ground, or let's say it's just, they can kill you, get rid of you, and they can cash out all your bonds, and right. And when I say bonds, I'm talking about all the money that I've ever put in while working that they've taken from me and stick it into the Social Security and all that kind of stuff. They get to flesh it all out. And so it's a win-win in every aspect for the whole county, the county of Montgomery, and its private army, who is the sheriff, and all the other assholes. All right, this is Stump, and he is the internal affairs. Right, he's opened, and there's all kinds that I've sent, and so he's well aware, and and he just ignores, and I have never heard from him. And also, my mother herself filed an open records, not an open records, sorry, that's an extra one there. My mother herself filed a internal affairs complaint to get somebody to go get on this, and that was, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to document everything, and that's what I'm like. See, a long time ago, I started talking to my mom about it, and my mom did not want any of this stuff on her Facebook, and I can understand and everything. However, right, and I didn't really want to do it and all that kind of stuff. However, now looking back, we should have done it and got started right immediately, and I would suggest everybody else do the same. Put it in for public record, Facebook, other places, public record, record it as a fact, and then they might, once they, this is not the whole pot of all of them. So these are emails, some of them that have been sent to Ligon. Right? These are some of them who has been sent to Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3, it turns out that they issued the warrant. It is so twisted, right? And really all it boils down to is in every way, I am the one holding all of the expenses. I'm the one that's left getting the big shaft, right? And so Beasley, if I go over to their website and I pull up the record and it says there's 3 motions. And then so I ask them, what are these motions? I call them on the phone. I say, how do I find out what these motions are? And the bitch goes and says, oh, you just asked me, Tiffany Harton, with an I, Harton. And I say, okay, well then what are they? And then she hangs up on me. And so I still don't know what these motions are. And then I'll send an email and say, okay, well if they're motions, then was there a judgment? I mean, when you do a motion, like a motion to dismiss, is there names for these motions? Can you at least give me that? They won't tell me. The only thing that they had was the capability to send SWAT and try to extract me. And I'm not out of the, I'm not out of the clear. Because right after they sent the SWAT, we called in and there's still a warrant. So at any point in time, if they can catch me on the street, I'm a dead man. They're trying to kill me. And everybody's like, oh man, hey, you know what I say? Don't you ever, without walking in the person's shoes, don't you ever fucking argue with somebody, right, about whether or not other people are trying to kill him and shit. I don't just make this bullshit up out of nowhere, right? Like, I'm not an idiot, right? And all roads lead back to, right? I mean, the only reason they're doing everything, there's a reason that everybody does something, and whenever you put it all together, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Well, everything that they're doing, all of their actions, when you put it all together, you'd have to be an idiot to not think that they aren't literally trying to create a scenario in which they can kill, and all of their problems will be wiped away, right? Nice and easy, right? And they have full immunity to do this, right? Because they have they own all the power. And even more importantly is the public are a bunch of weak, sissy-ass pussies, right? That will believe everything and anything they say, right? They're weak-minded people in general, right? All right. So you got Stewart. These are the emails sent. I sent one to Atkins. Again, there's tons more. This is Sergeant Dodson that was inside of the jail. I gotta get rid of that one. That was an error. But I've been trying to get a hold of him. Okay, and then this is that Fitzgerald, right? Lieutenant Fitzgerald, and this is the Sheriff Henderson, emails that were sent. Then this these are ones that were sent, but he never opened. So these are all the emails that have been sent to the principals of the agencies that are responsible for wasting all of my goddamn time and energy in my life. See, here's a fact that as far as a person, no, as far as people are concerned, these are corporations that are using us, our time and energy, right? But as far as like me, the only intrinsic value I bring to the planet when I was born is my time and my energy, right? And these assholes will go and take it and use it all for their own, like there's no crime here. If I truly did any kind of crime, it's just a no-brainer, right? When you do a crime and you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar, you're going to jail. You're gonna suffer the consequences. Everything that and every one of these assholes would easily answer every question you have. Would be like, yeah, absolutely. Here's our evidence, you idiot. You're going to jail, boy. Right? So, and that's how it works. And here's all of the emails that have been opened, or the ones that I have that I'm going to take over. And whenever I get everything put together, I'm going to pull it out as the archives, and I'll post it. Anyways, that's all. Oh, I guess maybe one last thing is, where is that? Oh, here's one aspect. So, this is Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, and I made a open records request, and I come to find out I got about 90 open records, give or take. And they're saying that they go, and these assholes have the audacity to just recently send me a cost estimate sheet, a fee schedule, stating that they're going to charge me $15 an hour to get these records. And it's like, yeah, dude, why? So they didn't charge the people to create these records. They didn't charge for all of the time and energy that Montgomery County has put in to creating all these records. And again, the first time that they showed up, that was completely dismissed. I can't even get any information on that, right? And whenever I asked the court, Montgomery County Court 5, I said, don't you have transcripts? So how do I get a copy of the transcripts? Then they all of a sudden they go, court transcripts to prove that I was there. And then they're like, you that you either, right, accept the charges, wish to modify your request, because this is a this is a presentation, this is a contract, right? However, if whenever I go and I say, don't tell me to put this shit in writing, you put it in writing, right? And then you sign it. See, I'm not even starting to enter into a contract until I know exactly this, then they would be held liable, right? However, now they can go and play all other little games, and I'm not going to do it. And so that's just a little insight. I hope that, what I really hope is that people listen to what's going on, because this is the fact, and maybe if something, God forbid, happens in your life, you guys will start to, will go instantly start recording everything. And when I say record it, I'm not saying, right? And it's like, well, I don't want people in my business. Well, you can go and put it all online via Facebook and put it private. And now it's sitting there private. But, and enter everything into Facebook, right? However, you don't keep this stuff private, because this facts are that none of this is private. All of this information, everything that I'm showing in general, like any person can go to the court of records and pull up my name and get all of this stuff on me. However, it's all misconstrued, right? It's all one-sided, so they don't get to see what I'm actually going through, right? So now this is from my side of the fence. With them, it's all their side of the fence. The facts are that that's a private corporation, right? And they have a whole private side. And the facts are that these so-called public records, they're not public. They're private. They're quasi-public, and they're sitting in a private space. So, right? So in other words, they could disappear, and you wouldn't know. And they're like, oops, we don't know what happened. It was there. It's not there anymore. What happened? And they all stand around looking at each other dumbfounded, right? Scratching their head, scratching that big hairy ass on top of their shoulders, right? We don't know. And, in some ways, if that happens, it might be good to you, beneficial, but then in other ways, they relieve themselves of any liability. So, on the short term, it might be beneficial to you, but on the long term, it's not, if you plan on pursuing some sort of lawsuit on their asses, right? So you got to keep this you put it all in the record, okay? Public record, and when you post it on Facebook, you keep the documentation in your private, in your records, and you paste it on Facebook. And then the most important thing is you put public notice. So you're putting the public on notice, and then people need to start pushing like. You don't, just because I noticed that. Yeah, I saw that. Yep. Now somebody go and be like, well, what did it mean? I don't know what it meant exactly, but I did take notice, right? I read down through it. Well, you don't even have to read through it. You don't have to know shit about it, right? You don't have to understand it. You don't have to do anything. The facts are, you just have to take notice. And so if you're scrolling down and you see a big thing that says public notice, and it's somebody you like or care about, push the like button, right? And help out. And if you run into any issues, do this technique. There's also, it's called mail track, right? Mail track, and it is free. You have to use Google Chrome. You have to use Gmail in order for it to work. So you set up a Gmail account. My suggestion would be set up one all separate account, and because you need to start looking at this as a business. I'm looking at this as a business now. My business is Draco and Company, and it is an unincorporated business trust, so to speak, right? And so they handle, because I'm not allowed to, because corporate fiction and real entities cannot actually operate in the same stuff beforehand. So I'm behind the eight ball at this point, and I'm trying to play catch up. Now, if I would have gone and done this from the word go, I would have everything, and quite frankly, probably wouldn't have gone 4 years, right? Like that I am, right? So I could have easily gone, and what you can do is also you send over. So you paste it on Facebook, and then you take a link, right? You copy the link, and then you send it over to those assholes, and you say, hey, I just put this on my, into the public, and don't call it Facebook. I put this into the public record, right? You can even open up your own Facebook page and call it, like, say your name is John Doe, John Doe's Public Records, right? And then start putting it all in there. And then send them a link to every one of the things that you just posted, right? And then you tell them you have 30 days to rebut anything or to contest and protest against anything that I'm stating. If I don't hear from you in 30 days, well, then I guess we're going to assume acquiescence